Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something we literally all struggle with: time management. But we're not talking about your standard productivity hacks here. We're actually looking at it through a much deeper lens: our spiritual duty and the true meaning of our lifespan. We are unpacking a pretty profound philosophical concept called the first warning: today is the real life. So let's just clear our minds for a few minutes and figure out what it actually means to own the time we've been given. Let me just ask you a question and be honest with yourself here. When do you usually realize the value of a single day? I mean, if you're like most of humanity, the answer is incredibly predictable, right? And honestly, it's a little tragic. We really only understand the immense, totally irreplaceable value of a day once the sun goes down, the clock ticks over, and that day has completely, irrevocably passed into history. It's like we are absolute masters at recognizing the worth of time in the rearview mirror. But understanding its value while it's actually right there in our hands, yeah, that is a much rarer skill. And that's exactly the puzzle we're going to solve together today. Okay, let's dive right into this with Section 1. Yesterday ended, tomorrow is uncertain. To truly get the value of today, we basically have to completely deconstruct our entire relationship with time. So think about yesterday. It is completely finished. It's a closed chapter. Honestly, no matter how much wealth or power you have, there is absolutely no way you can buy back even a single second of yesterday. It's just entirely out of your hands. And then, what about tomorrow? We plan for it, we stress over it, we base our whole emotional state on it, but the reality is it hasn't even arrived yet. And you have absolutely no guarantee, literally no contract, that it ever will. So relying so heavily on a past we can't change and a future we don't even own, well, it's a deeply flawed strategy for living. And that brings us to the core of our source material. The quote says, "Yesterday is out of your hands, and you have no deed for tomorrow." Wow, that's a powerful statement, right? Now, the purpose here isn't to scare you or fill you with existential dread. Actually, it's the exact opposite. Think of it like a startling wake-up call, kind of like a splash of cold water to the face. It's meant to shock the soul off autopilot and awaken you to this incredibly empowering reality. True life, your actual, tangible, actionable life, is only happening right now, today. Which leads us to Section 2. Humanity's unending procrastination excuse. If it's so blindingly obvious that today is all we have, why on earth do we keep wasting it? And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. We take our present time completely for granted, constantly pushing our spiritual growth to some, idealized future. We tell ourselves this little story that tomorrow will somehow be fundamentally different. We say, oh, just let my exams finish, or let the holiday get here, or I'll do it when it's a more suitable time. Or my personal favorite, I'll just settle down and focus on my spiritual life when I'm a bit older. It's this frantic, never-ending carousel of delay. We literally treat our present responsibilities like a hot potato, constantly tossing them into a future that just keeps moving further and further away. But here is the sobering truth we really have to face. Life may never open up a completely empty, problem-free space for you, waiting around for a perfectly stress-free future so you can finally begin living purposefully. That is a massive trap. The idea of a perfect, quiet, uncomplicated tomorrow is a total illusion. Life is just beautifully, inherently chaotic. There's always going to be another exam, another project, another crisis, or just another distraction. If you wait for all the noise to stop before you begin, you're going to be waiting forever. So, how do we break out of that trap? Let's move to Section 3, the real capital, the present day. We basically have to completely shift how we view the present moment. See, time is not just some passive river flowing by. It is your capital. Think of the present day as a direct deposit into your bank account every single morning. And just like any smart investor, you have an obligation to invest it wisely. If you spend today solely on temporary, fleeting things, your capital just vanishes with zero lasting return. You severely weaken the one definite opportunity you actually possess. But if you utilize today for things of deeper significance, specifically through prayer, cultivating good intentions, and embracing responsibility, that temporary time suddenly gains eternal meaning. You're literally converting a finite resource into an infinite asset. Talk about a good return on investment. To make this super concrete, there are 4 specific actions that literally can only happen in the present tense. Look at these. Prayer is performed. Repentance is made. Goodness is done, and self-recovery begins. Really think about that for a second. Yesterday is only good for feeling regret. Tomorrow, that's only good for drawing up plans. But today? Today is the only actual arena where real, tangible action takes place. You can't perform an act of goodness tomorrow. You can only plan to do it then. You can only actually do it today. Today is the workshop of your life. Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, the step to revive today. So, the crucial point is we need a single practical step that immediately resolves this whole problem of spiritual procrastination. And here it is. I will pray one time today without missing it. That's what this entire explainer has been driving at. It is incredibly practical. You do not need to fix your entire life in the next 24 hours. You don't even need to promise that you'll never procrastinate again. The whole goal is just to make this single clear decision for today. Even if you can't do everything perfectly all at once, taking ownership of just one designated time for prayer or spiritual reflection, that is the spark. That one single action is the exact step that revives today and completely transforms it from just passing time into eternal capital. As we wrap things up, I want you to think about this metaphor. Life often stretches out in front of us, looking like this endlessly long hallway of doors. But the reality, the only real door that's currently in your hands is today. Yesterday's door is firmly locked. Tomorrow's door hasn't even been built yet. Today is the threshold. So, with what intention will you walk through it? Take a moment to really think about that. I highly encourage you to make your choice right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I can't wait to explore more with you next time.